recording?
Yep, just recording.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica, and in today's video, I want to talk about what products I would repurchase first if I lost my entire collection. Now, realistically, am I going to lose my entire collection of makeup? No, I hope not. But these are definitely the first products that I would want back if they disappeared. I truly would miss them if they were no longer in my collection. I think we're just gonna go ahead and go in the order of how I apply my makeup. So let's start with primer first. The primer that I would repurchase is from Essence. This is the Hello Good Stuff Glow Serum Primer. I am almost done with this one. It is so good, and it does everything that I need under my base. This is hydrating, it's smoothing, it smells good, it's a little bit tacky. Truly, this is the only primer that I need in my collection. Do I have other things? Yes, I have stuff that's a little bit more glowy or like a highlighter-ish kind of product. I have some that are smoothing and blurring, but really, truly, this is the one that I always default back to. If I'm just like, okay, I'm putting on makeup, I'm heading out the door, this is the one that I'm always reaching for from Essence. For foundation, I'm gonna go with a classic. This is the NARS Sheer Glow. I was so excited when I purchased this foundation. It was like my first luxury foundation or high-end foundation. I had only ever used drugstore before, and I fell in love with this one. I absolutely love the formula. It's the one that I'm wearing today. Definitely matches me better in the summer because I bought this one in the summer, so it's definitely more of that shade. But I love this one. I love how it sits on the skin. I love how it blends so easily. It covers up exactly what I needed to cover, and it's buildable. I am not somebody who goes for full coverage every single day. Sometimes I like something a little bit lighter. Sometimes I do like it to cover a little bit more of my blemishes. This one is very versatile in that I can definitely sheer it out or build it up. It really covers all of my bases. For concealer, I'm going for another high-end brand. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. I got this one, I believe, in like an Ipsy box at some point, and I just fell in love with it immediately. I really love this one for the same reason that I really love the NARS foundation, is that it's very buildable. I can get the coverage level that I want. If I just want to wear concealer, I can definitely sheer this one out and just cover just a little bit to kind of even things out, or I can build it up and wear it with a full coverage face. This one is so beautiful. Not totally dewy, but it is a very natural finish on the skin. It's not a dry down matte flat concealer by any means, and that's why I really appreciate this one. For powder, I have two. The first one is a pressed powder from NYX. This is the Banana HD Finishing Powder. This one is well loved, and I really like it for a couple of reasons. The first, it's quite brightening under the eyes. So if my foundation is ever a little bit off, like it's my summer shade, this one really brightens up the complexion very nicely without looking overdone. And I really like this one because of the finish that it gives on the skin. This one does not look powdery. I find that I can use this all over my face. I tend to use it along my jawline as well because I have like sensory issues and I don't like the feeling of tacky foundation around my jawline. This one is perfect for setting that down without really changing how the foundation looks. It doesn't look incredibly powdery whenever I use this one. It's beautiful under the eyes. I find that it doesn't emphasize anything. It just sets down what I need to set down. I love this one. I love that it's in a pressed format, so it's not really messy when I try to use it. I do have a second powder that's kind of creeped its way into my everyday routine. This one is from Glamlite, and this is the Strawberry Shortcake Pink Powder. Pink powders have been such a trend lately, and I was not sure that I would like this at all. But this one I really enjoyed using. You can see this powder, it's not like a bright hot pink. I am using this today, and I find that it just kind of helps my blushy look even blushier without being too overdone. So I have this one just under the under eyes today, kind of right here in this area, then a little bit down my nose, and I find that it just helps the blush fade in so beautifully. This one is so gorgeous with a powder puff, but I've also used it with a brush, and I really like the effect that I got from that. If you are looking for a pink powder, this one is really nice. And I feel like if I just wanted a loose powder in my collection, I would go for a pink one because I don't really need a translucent pressed powder and a translucent loose powder for every day. So I would opt for the pink one. For bronzer, I'm gonna go with the Fenty one. This is the Sunstalker Instant Warmth Bronzer in shade 2, Shady Biz. I have quite the dent in this one. I really love this one. I've had it for a couple of years, and I am not really a bronzer person, and that's why I really appreciate this one, because it isn't too intense. It's definitely a buildable one, and I think that's what you're gonna find with a lot of these. Is I really like formulas that are buildable, that I can keep dipping into and building it up to getting the intensity that I want without going full overboard the first time I dip my brush in, and then having to blend and blend and blend and blend to try to get it to, you know, mesh with the skin. So for somebody who's not really a bronzer lover, this does every single thing that I need it to do. It just adds a little bit of warmth, just a little bit of dimension to the face. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. This meets all of my needs. For blush, I have a huge palette, but I am a blush lover through and through. This is the Blend Bunny Masterclass palette. This was developed with Jordan Liberty, who is an amazing makeup artist, and I really feel like you can see just how intentional he was with the shades that he and Maggie from Blend Bunny picked out. I adore this palette, but this has every single shade I could possibly need. Like, there are purples, there are pinks, there's coral, there's orangey shades, there's plum, there's neutral. Like, it truly has everything. There's also some blush toppers over here. I love the option to mix and match. I just think truly I would not feel the need to have a whole bunch of other blushes if I just had this one. Now, I have other blushes in my collection. I love the blushes that I have in my collection, but every single time I do my makeup, it crosses my mind to use this one just because I know that it's going to have what I need in it. So especially if I have to start my entire collection over, this will definitely fill every blush need that I have. For highlighter, I kind of have a 2-in-1 product. This one is from Dieverune, and this is the Dewdrops palette. What I typically use it for is for highlighting the face, but it is beautiful on the eyes as well, and that's why I really like this product specifically, because these are all like sheer toppery, but the colors are so beautiful, so unique. These are not shades that you find as a highlighter in other places. Like, the shift to them, the glow, the sheerness, everything is so perfect. And I can also use these as eyeshadows, which is why I really love this one specifically. It's beautiful as a highlight, but the colors also lend themselves really well to go on the eyes. If I did lose every other makeup product that I have, I can really enjoy using this on the face and on the eyes, on the inner corner, all over the body. Like, I can use this everywhere. I could bathe in this. It's so beautiful, so sparkly. The colors are incredibly unique, versatile. I adore this palette. I truly can't imagine never having Dieverune sparkles in my collection, because they have really changed how I did my makeup. Which now brings us to eyes. I have the Ulta Matte Eye Primer. I think that they reformulated this, and I have not tried the reformulation. I'm still working my way through this one, but this is truly the eye primer that I use every single time I do my makeup. There is never a time that I am not using this one. I will mix other primers with it because I have a couple that maybe have more coverage or maybe a little sticky, but this one is always the first thing that hits my lid, because I have very oily eyelids. I cannot apply eyeshadow without an eye primer because my eyelids get so oily and everything will disappear instantly. This has been a lifesaver. Cannot buy an eyeshadow if I'm not purchasing this as well. For eyeshadow, I would have to purchase the Blend Bunny Blends palette. They just redid this one and made it a part of their Masterclass collection, like with that blush palette. So there is a revamped version that has all of these plus some shimmers. I would have repurchased that one, but I already have this one, so this is one that I'm going to show you. And it just has everything. Truly, it is the full spectrum of the rainbow. Everything that I could possibly need to do an eye look is in here. Now, I love eyeshadow. I love doing colorful eye looks, but if I was starting from scratch, this would really scratch every itch that I have, at least for a while, because I can get all of the different colors in this palette alone. This palette mixed with the Dieverune Dewdrops, these two together, every eye look I could possibly need. So beautiful. If you are in the market for just really colorful shadows and you just want to try a bunch of shades that maybe you don't have in your collection, if you've typically been somebody that enjoys neutrals, I would recommend this 1,000, a million, a billion times over. This is so good. What I really like about Blend Bunny is that they have these transitional shades. They do this in every palette that they release. Even though their format has kind of changed since this palette, you can still find all of these transitional shades. So you never have to worry about, oh, I want to do a blue look, but this is the only blue in the palette. It's never going to be like that. You're going to have other things. There's always going to be shades that will help blend this out. So a lighter shade or a darker shade to help build more depth. I love Blend Bunny's formula as well. They're so easy to work with. They blend out flawlessly every single time. This one would definitely be the very first palette I repurchased. For eyeliner, I'm just keeping it simple. I would just get a pencil liner. This one is in Juniper from ColourPop. I'm not really particular about eyeliners. Honestly, most days I forget to wear like an eyeliner in my waterline, mostly because I'm doing such colorful makeup that I just don't really pay attention to it. Eventually, I would want to purchase more creative eyeliners, but initially when I'm just rebuilding my collection, I feel like those can kind of take a backseat in my collection. But when I want eyeliners, I'm definitely going for Glisten Cosmetics. This one is a discontinued palette. It was in collaboration with Lynn's Makeup Look, so you cannot purchase this one specifically anymore. But Glisten has the most beautiful array of eyeliners ever. Like, they truly have every single color in history. Like, it's insane how many gorgeous water activated liners that they have. But I would probably curate my own palette from Glisten, just so I can have something travel friendly that's all in one magnetic palette. Even though I can't get this one specifically, they do have like buildable palettes that you can pick the shades that you want to put in it. So I would probably do that a little bit later down the line. It wouldn't be the first thing that I repurchase, but honorable mention to them because I love these. To finish off the eyes, I'm picking a mascara that I don't actually have in my collection right now, but it is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I would probably purchase that one first just because I know that it works for me. It isn't anything crazy. Or I would pick up one of the Essence mascaras, specifically like their green one. I think it is. That's the one that I really like. Either of those are great for every single day and they build up really nicely. I don't have any issues with either of those formulas crumbling off of my eyes. So either one of those, perfect. And for lips, I have a few different options, and these are kind of representative of what I would buy, maybe not these things specifically. For lip liners, however, I would buy the Singe Beauty lip liners. I have mine in the shade Radical Rosewood, Messy Mahogany, and Optimistic Oak. The first one that I would purchase will probably be Optimistic Oak, followed by Messy Mahogany, and lastly Radical Rosewood. But they do have a 3-pack on their website for like $21, so I would probably just get the 3-pack and pick out these shades particularly. I have absolutely loved this formula. They are so easy to use, so easy to work with. And I really like this formula in particular because there's a little bit of time to blend them out. They don't set immediately as soon as you put them down on the lips, which is why I really like this one, because I do like to kind of fade it and blend it into the lips a little bit and then put like a gloss or something on top. So I would go for these lip liners. The next lip product is from Bella Beauté Bar. I think they're called like the Sparkle Balms, and this one specifically is in the shade Dimension. I adore this formula, and this shade specifically is stunning for every single day. They have a little bit of slip to them because they are like a balm color cosmetic hybrid formula. I really like this one because it is so comfortable on the lips. It's really easy to reapply. It doesn't chunk up or do anything weird when you try to reapply it later. I love this one. This would be the first one that I purchased, and I might even take the opportunity to get some other colors in this formulation, but definitely I would start with this one. If everything else disappeared, I could absolutely wear this one every single day. But if I wanted a matte lipstick and something with a little bit more color to it than the Balm, I would go for either a matte lipstick or an unearthly liquid lipstick. Matte lipsticks are a standard bullet lipstick, but the formula is so long lasting. The color is so opaque. Truly, if you are looking for a matte lipstick, I would recommend Melt 100 times over. I love this lipstick formula. This one is Nutmeg from their collaboration with Bailey Sarian, so it's not available anymore, I don't think. Any of their matte bullet lipsticks would be phenomenal to have, and I would probably want one of their nude shades. Again, just if I want a little bit more color, I can mix it with a lip liner, it would be perfect. But I have to have a colorful lipstick. I just love colorful lipstick so much, if you can't tell. Hello. So I would probably go for a Unearthly liquid lipstick. They have a few different formulas. This one is Moonlit Mauve, and this is their like matte formula, but they also have like a Plush formula. So I would definitely browse the Unearthly website and pick one of their lipsticks just so that I can have a pop of color. And guys, I think that wraps it up. Those are all of the products that I would repurchase first if my entire makeup collection disappeared. This is coming from someone who is a true makeup lover. I have so many products around me right now, and honestly, I would lose my mind if I lost all of my makeup. But I think for my makeup purposes, what I like to do every single day, these products can at least get me through as I rebuild my collection. So let me know, what are your all-time favorite products? If you lost everything, what would be the first thing that you ran out and grabbed? I would love to hear it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.